The Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 8 has finally been released on Disney+, and it was a truly incredible episode to finish off the season, setting up some incredible connections for the new Star Wars TV shows and bringing back the character we've all been waiting for, Luke Skywalker. There's also a massive after-credits scene at the end of the episode featuring Boba Fett and Fennec Shand at Jabba's palace, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video to see that. So I'm going to break down everything that went down in the episode and how it connects to the other Star Wars TV series and films. But before we get into it, I want to tell you about the awesome Star Wars card trader app by Topps. I've been having so much fun collecting Mandalorian Season 2 trading cards and trading them with other Mando fans around the world to help me complete my card sets and various missions. If you're like me and want to very quickly expand your card collection, then you're in luck, as you are given free credits and cards multiple times a day with missions and cargo drops. Even with the Mandalorian Season 2 ending, you can relive the best moments from the season and collect your favorite characters, as Star Wars Card Trader will continue releasing Mandalorian collectibles every Monday. I think it's absolutely awesome that this app provides a way for us to begin collecting and growing our very own Star Wars card collections and connect with other fans from around the world and trade until we have the perfect set. Check out these awesome cards I've managed to collect so far, and be sure to look out for the Luke Skywalker card, which I'm sure will be coming very shortly. I'll definitely be going for that one. So if you want to start collecting and trading with me, just tap your name in the Star Wars Card Trader app and search for StarForceOne. To get the app, just click on the link in the description down below. So to begin the episode, we start right off with a space battle where Boba's ship, Slave One, is in hot pursuit of Doctor Pershing inside of his imperial shuttle. Boba immediately hits the shuttle with one of his ion cannons, giving him an opportunity to board the ship. Once Djarin and Cara Dune board the ship, one of the imperial pilots savagely kills the other before taking Pershing hostage. As he does this, we find out that this pilot served on the first Death Star during the destruction of Alderaan, Cara Dune's home planet. He, however, asks her to think about not just how many were killed on Alderaan, but how many of his friends, family and co-workers were killed on the Death Star, obviously continuing the theme from last episode, humanizing the devastation that the Imperials also felt after the Battle of Yavin. It wasn't only the Rebel Alliance who suffered with Alderaan and Jeddah being destroyed. Following that, Slave One lands on the surface of a desert planet before walking into a cantina, where they come across Bo-Katan and Koska Reeves, of course last seen on Trask. For those of you who don't know, Bo-Katan was the ruler of Mandalore and the holder of the darksaber before the Great Purge and before Gideon stole the darksaber from her. As the two begin talking, Bo-Katan berates Boba Fett, calling him nothing but a bounty hunter sidekick and telling him that he is not a real Mandalorian. Boba brushes this off, but things soon get a bit heated, with Koska Reeves getting into a scuffle with Boba. Boba uses the phrase, "Well, isn't that the Quactor calling the Stifling slimy?" And at this point we have absolutely no idea what he's referencing there, but it's obviously the real world version of the saying, "the pot calling the kettle black." Mando quickly lets Bo-Katan know that he has the coordinates of Moff Gideon and asks her to join him on his quest to save Grogu, also adding that his light cruiser will be useful to reclaim Mandalore and her rightful place as the holder of the darksaber. Bo-Katan of course agrees because she badly wants the ancient black saber back, but Boba scoffs at retaking Mandalore because the Empire turned it to glass, and we'll certainly be seeing what that means in The Mandalorian Season 3. This leads to Bo-Katan calling him a disgrace to the armor he wears and making fun of him for being a clone, which in turn begins another small sparring match between Koska and Boba. After we move back to the ship, Doctor Pershing confirms that the Dark Troopers used by Moff Gideon on Tython do not have humans inside of them like Phase 0 Dark Troopers did, but instead they are a Phase 3 design, making them fully autonomous battle droids. Eventually, the group enter hyperspace and begin to devise their plan of attack on Moff Gideon. Because they have stolen the Imperial shuttle, they are forced to put on a show, with Boba in Slave One pretending to attack the others in the shuttle, making Gideon believe that he still controls the pilots of the Imperial shuttle. Eventually, the crew, minus Boba, boards Moff Gideon's Arquitans class light cruiser, but Gideon is one step ahead of them, activating his Dark Troopers from their cold storage, putting their awesome black and red armor into action. And where Boba is now traveling to will shock you. Make sure you watch to the end of the video where I'll break down the after credits scene. As the crew continues sneaking through the ship, we get a glimpse at an awesome silver protocol droid. This is an RA-7 model protocol droid, which was of course first seen in A New Hope, and featured heavily in both the Clone Wars TV series and Star Wars Rebels. And I don't know about you guys, but in this episode it really feels like they're building up Cara Dune and Fennec Shand's relationship, so maybe they're both heavily involved in the Rangers of the New Republic spin-off which was recently announced, or something similar. maybe they'll end up having to fight each other in that show. Following this, the Dark Troopers begin marching out of their holding area, and unfortunately, Djarin happens to be nearby when they are about to exit. Djarin manages to use Doctor Pershing's code cylinder from earlier to stop the door from closing, but sadly, one manages to get out and attack Mando. Code cylinders are of course featured in almost every Star Wars movie, TV series, and anything where Imperials are present, and is the main way Imperials gain access to internal computer systems, but we get a fantastic look at how they work in the Star Wars Rebels episode, Through Imperial Eyes. After this, Djarin defeats the Dark Trooper that escaped from the storage area and jetted the others into the cold void of space. But you can't help but feel bad for Mando, as that one-on-one fight with the Dark Trooper probably reminded him of his childhood, where the B-2 battle droids of the Separatist army raided his hometown of Akvatina, which we learned from a reference book, and killed his parents. Immediately after this, the rest of the crew violently storm onto the bridge of the cruiser, while Mando bursts into a holding cell where Grogu is located. When the door opens, he sees something that hurts him deeply. Grogu is in hollow cuffs, with Gideon holding the darksaber over his head, ready to kill the young Jedi. Once Gideon informs Mando that the person who holds the darksaber has the right to the Mandalorian throne, which you would already know if you've seen the Clone Wars and Rebels, but for those of you who don't know, there's a very long and rich history of the darksaber changing hands through violence, gifting, and treachery, so make sure you check out the video in the pinned comment below or in the card on screen now to get up to speed with every person who has held the darksaber. For a Mandalorian to have a rightful claim to the darksaber, they must also defeat the current holder of the ancient weapon in single combat. Eventually, Moff Gideon pretends to allow Mando to take Grogu, but very quickly turns on him, scorching his Beskar armor with the saber, leaving not even a scratch. We all know how powerful pure Beskar is. The two then engage in a ferocious battle until Mando defeats Moff Gideon in single combat, making him the rightful holder of the darksaber. And let me know down below if you realized what this battle meant as soon as it happened. I realized straight away what this meant, and I was worried for Bo-Katan. As you can imagine, when Bo-Katan sees Djarin walking onto the bridge with the darksaber ignited, she panics, as she knows that she no longer has the rightful claim to it. Now, this is also very strange, as during the events of the Mandalorian Civil War in Star Wars Rebels, Bo-Katan was happy to be gifted the darksaber by Sabine Wren, who in turn had it stolen out of Darth Maul's lair on Dathomir. In both of these cases, the darksaber was simply picked up and transferred without a traditional Mandalorian battle, so it's pretty weird to see Bo-Katan change and revert to the traditional ways. Moff Gideon did also make a very small comment which almost confirms that he is one of the Imperials in the First Order faction of the Imperial Remnant and hopes to restore the Empire from the shadows of the unknown regions. For those of you who don't know, this small faction of Imperials was entrusted by Palpatine himself during Operation Cinder, and later to destroy the worlds that they governed over and flee to the unknown regions, where they would eventually form the First Order sometime before The Force Awakens. This faction is separate from the Sith Eternal cultists, who Palpatine also prepared for his reawakening. So maybe Gideon is even a Palpatine cultist, and that's why he's so interested in the blood of Grogu, and maybe those experiments on Navarro also had a relation to Snoke. Eventually, the horde of Dark Troopers from earlier return and begin brutally bashing down the door, hoping to gain access to the bridge to kill Djarin and the rest. The crew are on the verge of defeat as the Dark Troopers are moments away from getting inside of the bridge, but out of nowhere, the man we've all been waiting for, Luke Skywalker himself, the son of Anakin, bursts onto the scene and absolutely tears the Dark Troopers to shreds with his emerald green lightsaber. I'm sure I don't have to explain who Luke Skywalker is, and I can't say enough just how awesome this is to finally see him. After this, we get another heartwarming appearance from Luke Skywalker's loyal astromech, obviously belonging to his father Anakin and mother Padme before him, R2-D2. Again, absolutely incredible to see this little astromech return at Luke's side. And comment down below what your reaction was when Luke Skywalker popped onto the screen. I went absolutely crazy, and I'm sure you guys did too. After this, we switch to a heartbreaking scene where Djarin agrees to hand over Grogu to Luke Skywalker so that he can join Luke's Jedi Order, and both Mando and Grogu shed tears as Luke walks back into the elevator with R2, taking Grogu with him. An absolutely awesome and heartbreaking way to end the episode at the same time. Now after this, we get an incredibly interesting post-credit scene with Boba Fett himself. In the scene, we cut straight to Jabba's palace on Tatooine, where we see that Bib Fortuna, Jabba's old right-hand man, has taken over Jabba's throne and now rules his criminal empire. This is exactly what happened in Star Wars Legends also. After this, Fennec Shand bursts into the palace and kills Bib Fortuna's associates before freeing his Twi'lek slave. Following this, Boba arrives into the palace and takes the throne of Fortuna for himself, now ruling over the criminal empire with Fennec Shand at his side. Finally, they confirm that Boba Fett's TV series is called The Book of Boba Fett and is airing December 2021 on Disney+. And I can't wait to see what happens. It's honestly pretty surprising to see Boba go back to his old criminal ways after getting a kind of redemption arc from The Mandalorian Season 2. But it certainly fits his character, and this might even be a replacement for the Solo sequel, which we know was supposed to be a trilogy, so maybe they're moving more of the criminal empire stuff into this show with Boba Fett instead of Darth Maul. So that is my full breakdown of The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 8, Chapter 16, Luke Skywalker Returns. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.